So someone made a comment on one of my YouTube videos recently, and they said, my grandfather ate bread, sugar, and drank alcohol, whiskey his entire life, he even smoked, and he lived to be over 90 years old. So how do you explain that, Dr. Berg? I thought that if we consume these foods, we're supposed to die early. Well, here's the thing. Everyone comes into this world with a different package, different genes, different family histories. So if you had several generations before you that really took care of their bodies, they ate healthy, consumed food from fertile land, you're going to probably end up with some pretty robust genes because there wasn't a lot of things to weaken those genetics. So you probably could then be the person who gets away with it. There are certain countries that have perfect bone structure and teeth, like in Africa. They live off food that is grown on volcanic soil. So you get all these amazing trace minerals that build really healthy bone structure. Then you have other countries that produce different types of foods that you end up with a lot of teeth decay. Like in the UK, there's a tremendous amount of sugar, refined foods, and dental issues. Same thing with the US. So depending on your genetics, your family history, the foods, the country that you live in, it can make a huge difference of where you are on the spectrum. But the great majority of people, unfortunately, develop metabolic diseases earlier and earlier. But there's usually a point in someone's life, a time that things start to break down. For me, it was 28 years old. You see, before that, I could eat bread, and I ate a ton of bread, ton of sugar, and I definitely drank alcohol. And I had absolutely no symptoms whatsoever. I felt great, so I can get away with it. And that's why I had no attention on it. I didn't want to change because I felt fine. At that point in my life, you couldn't educate me about keto or cutting off carbs because I wasn't fat. I felt great. I had no problems until 28 years old. And then I started to really start to go downhill. And that's when I started to make some changes. So there are several factors that would determine if this is 28 years old or earlier or a lot later. That would be your genetics, how robust your genes are from your family tree. Then you have epigenetics, the environment, what happens in the environment, your eating habits, your stress level, pollution. There are a lot of factors that are epigenetic factors, which are basically even above the genetics. What happened with me when I was 28 is I went through tremendous stress right before that, going through school and starting out in practice. And I know that did not help, compounded by the fact that I was eating completely refined, empty calories without any type of vegetables whatsoever or anything nutrient dense. And then you have your health reserve. How much reserve do you have? And then your attitude, which is another factor, which is very, very, very important, probably should be at the top of the list. You have some people that are so positive, they're so up, that they never get sick. So this is a really important factor as well. All right, there you have it. That's my response to this question.